This is a gathering. This is a group of people that are meeting up together. In this case, it's somebody's birthday party that will go on for several days. Well, this place is pretty magical. So's Kit. He's got his gingerbread man sweater on this morning because it's like 45 degrees, 46 degrees at the moment. Let's talk about camping around Quartzsite. So there's lots of different ways to do it. It's the desert, y'all. Now, you want to make sure you're actually on BLM land. BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management. And I love this area. We got the beautiful acacias, and we got saguaros. We got people camping over there. So that's pretty dispersed, right? And let's just take a look around. Look at the beautiful mountains. That's just gorgeous. And then we come over here. This is a gathering. This is a group of people that are meeting up together. In this case, it's somebody's birthday party that will go on for several days. And that's very cool. But as you can see, I mean, like, this guy is out here pretty much by himself, pretty far away from everybody else. And Kit and I are just out for our morning walk. So let's talk about the rules. And don't say we don't need no stinking rules, because we do, unfortunately. But there are rules about camping on BLM land. And first of all, for the most part, it's free. Near Quartzsite itself are long-term visitor areas, LTVAs. And there's also a couple in California, one at Midland, which is near Blythe, one at Holtville Hot Springs. I think those are the only two in California. 4 right around Quartzsite here. And so the deal is, if you're going to an LTVA, that costs $180 for the entire season from September 15th until April 15th. And, or, there's another alternative, you can pay for 2 weeks at a time. And if you choose to pay for 2 weeks at a time, more beautiful mountain views over there, by the way. If you choose to pay for 2 weeks at a time, that's $40. And whichever LTVA pass you choose to purchase, those will give you, in addition to the ability to be able to camp on the LTVA designated areas. Waiting for Kit. Waiting for Kit. Yes, we are. That's a good boy. Did you get something in your foot? You okay? Do I need to look at it? Okay. So, in addition to being able to camp on the LTVA designated areas, that pass also gives you access to water, to a dump station, and to trash disposal. I mean, you gotta take your trash to the dumpsters, but you only have to take it to the dumpsters. You don't have to find some other place to get rid of it. So there are lots and lots of people that will get the seasonal pass for $180. I did that last year. Not sure if I'm gonna do it this year or not. I mean, here we are into December and I haven't bought a pass yet, so I don't know, might not. I think I'm more inclined to just do like 2-week passes this year, because my thought is I can go about 2 weeks between needing to dump. So let's say, for example, I choose to camp outside of an LTVA on BLM land, which you can do for free for up to 14 days at a time. But here's the kicker that a lot of people miss. Once you do that, once you've been in an area for 14 days, you're supposed to move either 25 or 30 miles away, depending on what land you're actually on. And then you can't stay in that location for more than 14 days. But my thought is, if I spend like 14 days on non-LTVA BLM land, and then move to an LTVA for 2 weeks, get the 2-week pass for $40. I'll be able to move into an LTVA, which may not be 30 miles away from where I was just camped. I'll be able to have access to the water in the dump and the trash, so I can do that on my way in, and then I can do it again 2 weeks later on my way out. And I'd be able to hang out with, I've got a bunch of friends that are staying in a couple of different LTVAs, so I'd be able to stay there and hang out with them, which would be cool. So I'm kind of thinking about doing that. So what else do you need to know about camping on BLM land? Well, the 14-day rule is pretty important, and a lot of people don't observe it, and they're potentially causing harm for all of us that want to be able to use our public lands within the constraints that the federal government has designed. And, you know, it's not all that difficult to be able to follow the rules, but there are a number of people that think the rules don't apply to them, and so instead of actually following the rules, they'll just kind of basically move in on BLM land and live there. That's not legal. And oh, by the way, if you're ever in a situation where a ranger, approaches you where you're camping and you're a full-timer, you want to be very clear that what you're doing is camping. You're recreating, because that's what our public lands are for. You're not living on them. You're not living in your rig. You're recreating for the requisite 2 weeks at that particular location. So, be really clear about that for yourself so that you don't run afoul of the law. But the unfortunate truth is that in very many cases now, there's aren't enough rangers to be able to police this stuff. And so as a result, people are taking advantage of the situation, and potentially, as I said, to the detriment of all of us that want to be able to recreate responsibly. And so, let's get back to the tire situation. So I ended up at Discount Tire day before yesterday. Spent a couple hours there in the afternoon. They chose to swap out my valve stem extender. And this was pretty funny. When they first did it, the guy that was reassembling the wheels left the new valve stem extension sticking out like a foot. So it was laying against the bottom of the wheel cover. And of course, as soon as I started rolling, would have just been flopping around and, ruined another sensor, which would have been bad. So I said, no, you can't do that. That's not how you install a valve stem extension. And so a manager ended up having to take over and fix it, which was fine. And I decided to go ahead and stay in Yuma near the Discount Tire, so I could be sure that it really was holding air again before I got out here to the middle of nowhere, where it's absolutely beautiful but difficult to get services. So yesterday morning I got up and everything was fine, and I had a meeting and some other work stuff to take care of. So once I'd done all that, I finally got on the road about 12:30 in the afternoon, and I was about a mile and a half or so, about a mile away from the turnoff for this location from the main highway. And a guy pulled me over, waving frantically. And it turns out that I had lost a wheel cover about 2 miles back. And I went back and tried to find it and couldn't. My friend Rob and I are going to go look for it in his pickup truck in a couple of days and see if we can actually find it. But in the meantime, tires seem to be holding pressure. Hopefully I'm done with tire woes now. That will be awesome. And in the meantime, I get to be out here enjoying nature. Naturally. So as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. What do you think? You like this area for camping? I sure do. Even with a group of people right now. And there's Henry right over there. Okay, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.